Hey parents, this is Justin Dixon, the band director at Holly Middle School. Hope you're doing well. With report cards coming out last week, I thought now would be a good time to talk about practice and how students can practice at home to be more prepared for rehearsal and to be more prepared for their playing test and so that they're better at playing their instrument and they enjoy it more. Talk about five things, and I made visual aids, of course, because I'm a teacher. So first thing is very simply, do it. Practice. Encourage your children to practice. Encourage them to make the time and help them make the time. Um, I would shoot for about 2 hours a week, about 30 minutes at a time. That would be really good for middle school. And it's okay if maybe you kind of have to nudge your kids into this, especially at first. When I was in middle school, I didn't want to practice at first either. My parents had to kind of make me do it. But once I started to get into that habit, it became a habit. And once I started to get results, I wanted to do it more because I enjoyed getting better. Um, what I tell the kids on the first day of school is, I like to ask them who's the best teacher in this room, and some of them just stay quiet, and some of them say that it's me, and I tell them, no, no, you are your best teacher. You sitting down for a little bit of time and figuring this stuff out on your own, figuring it out for yourself while you practice is going to do so much more than anything we could possibly do in class. Because I can sit here and explain it to you and we can kind of do it in class, but it's you figuring it out on your own where you're really going to learn it. It's just like sports. You can explain to me all day long how to shoot a free throw in basketball, but until I get out there and I actually do it and figure it out for myself and figure out how to apply what the coach is saying to myself, until I do that, I won't be able to shoot a free throw. So, something to think about there. So let's talk about how to practice. Warm up slowly and correctly, focusing on your sound. So when you first get the instrument out of the case, it is very important to not just jump right into your music. Just like in sports, you need to warm up. Start just like we do our fundamentals in class. Pull out your low fundamentals number one note. So trumpets, clarinets, your C, sax, alto sax, your G, flutes, low brass, your B flat. That's that note. Just hold it out nice and slow. And focus on all the things that we talked about in class. Is your mouth the right shape? Is the inside of your mouth the right shape? Like, are you making the right vowel sound? Ah, eh, oo, with the inside of your mouth? Are you raising your soft palate? Is your tongue arch correct? How's your posture? Are you sitting up straight? Are your legs crossed? They shouldn't be crossed. They should be on the floor. Um, One thing I'm working on right now is getting my head back. I play too much with my head forward, and it's making me not sound as good, and it's giving me some pretty nasty headaches. So that's something I'm working on when I warm up. Start with that, nice and soft, nice and easy, and just focus on do I sound good, and making those adjustments just like we do in class for your sound. Um, Number three, let's talk about what not to do. Do not be loud or sloppy. Don't form bad habits. Sometimes when I hear kids, they come into class, they get their instruments out, and they start playing. Sometimes this is what I hear. And it's like someone said, let's see how loud, who can play the loudest and most sloppy. It's like it's a competition. No, 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 no. Every time you do that, you're forming a bad habit. So you must be self-disciplined when you're playing an instrument. You must not allow yourself to play sloppy. Again, basketball, if I allow myself to shoot a free throw like this, then, well, I just got better at shooting a free throw incorrectly. And I know it can be kind of fun to play loud and to honk and stuff, but every time you do that, you're getting better at it. So don't do that. Do not form bad habits. Don't be sloppy. Don't be loud. So, getting back to what you should do. Number one strategy, especially when you're learning new music, is slow down. If you're making mistakes, you're going too fast. Okay? If you're making mistakes, you're going too fast. You need to slow down. So if I'm playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and it's no, I'm going too fast. I need to slow down and give myself time to figure out those notes. No, I still screwed up, so I'm still going too fast. I need to slow down even more. Okay, and then likewise, only do a couple notes at a time, especially when you're learning a new song. Kids like to hurry up and get through stuff. No. Stop and just do a couple notes, or one measure at a time. Maybe older 8th graders like 1 or 2 measures at a time, but that's it. Just slow down and stop and just, is it right? Like, stop and make sure you're playing it correctly. The biggest thing that kids do wrong when they practice is they don't fix things. They just they want to keep going. You need to slow down and you need to fix stuff, and don't go on until it's right. Now, let's talk about that statement. The other mistake the kids make is once they get something right, they think they're done. And if you did it incorrectly 10 times, trying to learn it, and then you got it right once, well, you did it 10 times wrong and 1 time correctly. So, you see? You just got really good at doing it incorrectly, and you got it right once. That doesn't mean that you learned it. I just heard from one of the musicians in the New York Philharmonic that said amateurs and students think you're done when you get it right. Professionals know that the practice starts when you get it right. You start practicing after you get it right. Repetition. Your body, this is muscle memory. Again, it's just like sports. Your body learns through repetition. Whatever you do over and over and over and over again, that's what you're training your muscles and your brain to learn. And you're teaching it, this is how we do this. By the way, then you go to sleep that night and your brain processes all that, and then you wake up the next morning and your body's learned it. Sleep is critical to learning muscle memory. So your body learns through correct repetition. You have to do it correctly over and over and over again. So once you can play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or whatever, you then need to do it 5 or 6 times correctly, and then you're going to really be able to do it after you go to sleep and you wake up the next day. So this is the little game that you're going to have to play with your body. Teaching yourself over and over and over and over again how to do something. It's just like, again, if you're learning how to hit a baseball, you don't go in the batting cage and hit it once. You do it 50, 60, 100 times, and now you're starting to get better. So, anyway, hope that's helpful. I've been playing the trumpet for 27 years, and I still have to practice. I'm playing at church here in about an hour, and I was practicing for about an hour this morning before I made this video. Doesn't this look like fun? Doesn't this look like what you want to do? Yeah. But you know what? I do enjoy it because it makes me better. And then getting better makes me feel good, and getting better at playing my instrument, sounding better, I love it. And I hope that your kids will too. So anyway, hope that was helpful. Go practice.